development, and shared win-win policy success drawn from lessons learned in Cambodia. On global levels, we have transformed ourselves from a recipient country of the UN Blue Beret deployment to become an active contributing country in UN peacekeeping operations in some hotspot countries of the world, as evident by UN peacekeeping and mine clearing missions in Africa and Middle East. We strongly believe that war cannot end by war. True peace and prosperity would only stem from peaceful settlement of conflicts through dialogue and consultations based on win-win approach, whereby it is imperative to have the participation and agreement of all parties involved, in a spirit of mutual understanding, setting the well-being of the people as a top priority. In the broader context, ASEAN and international communities must exert leadership in opposing the use or the threat of force against a sovereign state, while concerted effort is indispensable. In the meantime, members of ASEAN and the United Nations must adhere to the spirit of independence, sovereignty, territorial integrity, equality, and non-interference stipulated in the ASEAN and UN charters. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, ASEAN has become the 5th largest economy in the world. The success story of ASEAN has always been based on peaceful cooperations with active and proactive participation from the private sector as a prerequisite for socio-economic and human development. By having peace as a core fundamental value, ASEAN has forged stronger regional partnerships among its member states to enhance prosperity in the region and beyond. In this spirit, ASEAN must strive to strengthen its unity and centrality and advance the ASEAN economic community building process to sustain ASEAN as a region of critical importance and major center of prosperity, which can be equally and inclusively shared. In the current regional and global context, to achieve common prosperity, it is imperative that the strengthening and deepening of ASEAN economic integrations further contribute to narrowing the development gap within ASEAN itself. The promotion of intra-ASEAN trade and investment, in particular, ought to be meaningful and leave no one behind. To realize these visions, ASEAN must strive in a concerted effort to secure a timely conclusion of a better forward-looking and more practical ASEAN trade in goods agreement upgrade. Equally important, we ought to fully and effectively utilize the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, or RCEP, while ensuring that the existing ASEAN Free Trade Agreements and economic cooperation with all ASEAN dialogue partners are still of critical importance and relevant for businesses and investors. Moreover, ASEAN should take full advantage of the change in economic architecture to become more resilient by accelerating inclusive ASEAN digital transformations, enhancing and participation of MSMEs in the regional and global supply chain, and being more forward-looking and adaptive to emerging issues such as climate change, food security, pandemic, and others. Ladies, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Cambodia attaches crucial importance to peace, political stability, and security. From a country marked by decades of wars, Cambodia has been enjoying peace, and through peace has graduated into the lower middle income country status, having sustained its economic growth of 7% per annum. Cambodia therefore holds true that peace, political stability, and security are the prerequisites and core establishment for socio-economic and human development, without which basic rights and freedom of the people cannot be protected, much less prosperity and development. As I assume the premiership in this 7th term, the royal government of Cambodia has recently launched a new national overarching strategy called the Pentagon Strategy. The overall strategic mission is to safeguard and nurture hard-gained peace and to accelerate national development to achieve the milestones of becoming a high-income country by 2050. This strategy has set out 5 strategic pentagons, including 1. Human capital development, 2. Economic diversification and competitiveness enhancement, 3. Development of private sector and employment, 4. Resilience, sustainable and inclusive development, and 5. Development of digital economy and society. Taking this opportunity, I would like to emphasize the importance the royal government plays an essential role of private sector in contributions to Cambodia's remarkable prosperity. Improving the business and investment climate has always been one of the top priorities of the royal government of Cambodia. For instance, to promote business and investment with sufficient incentive, protection, predictability, and opportunities, the royal government has adopted the law on investment and the law on public-private partnership, together with free trade agreements and bilateral and multilateral cooperations. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as the new Prime Minister of Cambodia, I would like to assure you that Cambodia continues to be committed to the multilateral system, rule-based, international order, and principle of non-interference in order to protect and promote peace both at home and in the world. We will work closely with all ASEAN member states, as well as private sectors, to foster inclusivity, peace, and prosperity in the region and beyond. Cambodia stands ready to welcome all prospective investors to the kingdom where opportunities are abundant. Finally, I wish this summit a great success and wish Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the 4 Buddha blessing of longevity, nobility, health, and strength. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Cambodia, His Excellency Samdech Mahaprabhu Tipade Unmanye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please give another round of applause as the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Cambodia is leaving the room. We extend our deepest gratitude for the presence of His Excellency Samdech Mahaprabhu Tipade Unmanye. Or in Cambodia, we say Okun, Prime Minister. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please remain on your seats as we are going to proceed to our next agenda shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain on your seats as the next speaker is going to arrive soon. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great anticipation that we look forward to the next segment of our event. We are privileged to have with us a speaker who will deliver special remarks on the theme ASEAN 2045, the Era of People. Our next esteemed speaker is not only a well-known figure, but also a person who stands for positive change with his dedication to humanitarian causes and his influence as a global icon, bringing a unique perspective on how ASEAN will shape its path toward 2045 with a focus on its citizens. He was recently inaugurated as an honorary ambassador at the 50th anniversary of Indonesia-South Korea relations. In his special remarks, he will share his vision of ASEAN in 2045 and highlight the role of mutual trust and understanding of people-to-people relations, the cornerstone of the international business and investment. I'm delighted to welcome to the stage the Ambassador of UNICEF East Asia and Asia Pacific Regional, Mr. Choi Siwon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Your Excellency. My name is Siwon Choi from Korea. And I think, the most sexiest guy in this room, hopefully. Well, it has been 4 years since I became a part of this great journey. And I always feel very grateful to have the role of the UNICEF Regional Ambassador for East Asia and Pacific. So one of the most honorable jobs on earth is to advocate for children and their rights. This time, I also speak as UNICEF Next Gen Global Principal to the theme of ASEAN 2045, the era of people. So I would like to start by sharing my vision. It's a vision of a region where every child grows up healthy, well-nourished, and safe from disease. A region where every child is protected against the devastating effects of climate change, where every child is safe and protected, including online spaces, where every child is learning the skills they need for the future. In short, it's a region where every child can pursue their dreams without any roadblocks. I share this vision with you because it's a perception that we can achieve together through strong social commitment and collective action. So why invest in children? I've seen it with my own eyes as I have traveled through this region. When we help children, there are ripple effects throughout their entire families. Those ripple effects lead to stronger, more resilient communities who are more and more able to cope with the shocks. And over time, stronger, resilient communities will boost their economies. The conviction that there is no better investment than investing in children is what led me to agree and become a UNICEF Next Gen Global Principal. Our small group of philanthropic investors leverages our influence, network, and resources to accelerate change for children, especially in the areas of climate change, health, digital education, and impact investing. In this era, there's no shortage of opportunities for us to make a difference for the very people that are the future of our region, our children. Still today, billions of children in East Asia and the Indo-Pacific reach the age of 10 without being able to understand a simple text. Too many children are still completing school without acquiring even basic skills, let alone the important 21st century skills required for meaningful employment. Despite progress made in vaccination, millions of children in this region have yet to receive a single dose of vaccine, exposing them to life-threatening illnesses like measles. So many of these boys and girls still live in impoverished, hard-to-reach communities with poor sanitation and unsafe water. The climate crisis is only making matters worse, driving a wedge between the rich and the poor, pursuing the poorest children into poverty and deprivation. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by these challenges. But the good news is that together we have the power to change the realities of those girls and boys through strong social commitment, collective action, and the right investments. Investing in children does not only make ethical sense, it makes economic sense. We know, for example, that the US $1 invested in the pre-primary education of the youngest children gives society 10 times in return. These kinds of investments promote sustainability and resilience and open up long-term prospects for ASEAN. But they need to be made now. Personally, I have chosen to partner with UNICEF because I have seen firsthand how their interventions change lives. UNICEF is the only organization working in over 190 countries with the ability to shape government policies, reach the most remote places, and deliver emergency supplies anywhere on Earth within 84 hours. UNICEF vaccinates almost half of the world's children every year, and over the last 20 years, we have reduced child mortality by 50%. More children are enrolled in schools with primary enrollment up to around 90%. UNICEF could not have achieved any of this without the mutual trust of the children and communities we serve. However, we need to take it a step further. Now is the time to not just think, but to take action. Children are our future, and you and your meaningful actions only can change the world, because we are change makers. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Choi Siwon. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give another round of applause to the Ambassador of UNICEF East Asia and Asia Pacific Regional, Mr. Choi Siwon. Thank you for the powerful words. Thank you for giving your time in ASEAN Business and Investment Summit 2023. I bet most of the audience want to take picture with Mr. Choi Siwon. All right. Once again, we are delighted to have the Ambassador of UNICEF East Asia and Asia Pacific Regional, Mr. Choi Siwon. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your presence. 감사합니다, Mr. Choi Siwon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed to the next agenda, we are still going to have another speaker. We require you to remain on your seats because we are still waiting for the arrival of the Prime Minister of Laos PDR to join with us. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we remind you to please be on your seats because we are going to have another state leader joining with us. We are still waiting for the arrival of the Prime Minister of Laos PDR. Once again, please remain on your seats as we are waiting for the arrival of the Prime Minister of Laos PDR.